Let me ask you a question. This is what we saying. This is what we getting at, right?
True that.
Why do you dress that way? Why? Because you deal with women?
Yeah,
you gay?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? That's what we getting at.
Because that's what I feel comfortable with. That's what my sexuality is.
All right. So something that's unnatural can never be comfortable. You understand?
Okay.
That's like me trying to put on an extra small shirt.
Okay.
And in my mind, I'm saying that's what I feel comfortable with. But outwardly, you can see that don't work.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Why do you subscribe? IUIC New Orleans, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Help us to grow. Comment, like, share. What's going on? Make it happen.
Now watch, why did they change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday?
Really, I can't go too far, but
My sister, why did they change the Sabbath day from Saturday to Sunday?
Because they wanted us not to rest. They wanted our energy to possess. That's all they wanted is for us to give up to the sun god.
Now check it out. Now check it out, right? Saturday was changed by Constantine, a Caucasian, right? This was after the Romans period, right? Y'all heard of the Romans period, right? Constantine changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Why? To finish enslaving our people. Because we know the minute they change laws against us to follow God, we in the midst of sin. We become in sin. That's why we buy on God's Sabbath day. That's why we cook on God's Sabbath day. Guess what? Even in slavery, we had a form of God's commandments and we still follow. But yet, Titus 2:6, watch this, read.
Titus 2:6.
Check this out, bro. I want you to pay attention because you've been sober for 2 to 3 weeks, right? My sister, right? I need you to show her an example to be sober forever. I got you. Watch this. Read.
Young men, likewise, exhort to be sober-minded.
So, watch this. Watch this, my sister. And I want you to listen to this, bro. You follow? Watch this. Listen to what it said. Read.
In all things.
Now, read from the top.
Verse 6. Young men, likewise, exhort to be sober-minded.
It says young men or women, because the Bible written in masculine form. It says, be sober-minded.
Right.
When you're sober, you need to get away from the Black and Miles. You need to get away from the weed, like you did. Like you did, my brother. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 15, 3:15.
It be the suppression of the evilness.
It be the suppression of the evilness, right?
Right.
But even when that high gone, where's the suppression of the evilness?
Round.
Where's the suppression of the evilness? Even when your high is gone, where's the suppression of the evilness? It's still there.
Yeah, it's still around.
So you ain't escaping nothing.
No.
You're not escaping reality.
Right.
That's what our people like to do.
Right.
We like to find something to cope with to escape from reality. We can't move like that. I'm gonna show you something else. I'm getting straight to it. Romans chapter 1. Check it out, my sister. Because guess what? You are my sister, right?
Yes.
You would look much better in a beautiful dress. You would look much better in a beautiful dress. Because guess what? Our enemies taught us to be like that. We wasn't always like that. You think Harriet Tubman was like that? Hell no! What do most of our, I don't want to look like Harriet Tubman. Why? Because she dressed modestly.
Right.
Because she was a woman.
Right.
She wasn't a man.
She was in her divine energy.
She was in her divine energy and femininity.
Yes.
Now check it out. Watch this. Read. Romans 1 and start at verse 26. Read.
Romans 1 and verse 26.
Read.
For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections.
You know what's a vile affection? Vile affection is something that's filthy to God. He said God gave us up to vile affection. Something that's very filthy. Read.
For even their women did change the natural use.
It says the women changed the natural use. What's that? Putting on a strap.
Sexuality.
Exactly.
Be something that you already.
Guess what? They creating bathroom signs where a transgender can go in this. God didn't create that to be that way.
You know?
That's a vile affection.
Right.
Read.
into that which is against nature.
Because it's against nature. Can a female lion have a baby with another female lion?
Not at all.
Hell no! You need a male and a female, not a female and a female. That doesn't go. That doesn't go. Now I hope you really taking it in, because you're agreeing to it, which is good. But watch this. Read on.
Verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the
It
woman.
says likewise the natural men, the men leaving the natural use. Wait, read that part again. I think I skipped. Read.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
Leaving the natural use of the woman. Read.
Burn in their lust one toward another.
What's her natural use? What's her natural state?
Right. What's your natural use?
What you mean?
Like, what is a woman created to do?
Give life.
Give life, right?
Yes.
How can two women do that?
They can.
They can't.
They can.
Exactly.
That's well
so
known.
why would you go against the one creator who created you to be a woman to give life?
That's a good question.
Why would you go against that?
I don't feel like I'm going against.
But you don't feel like you're going against it, but your
Nah.
actions is doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Your actions is doing it,
Yeah.
right? Which means you're doing it.
Yeah.
Watch this. Read 1 Samuel chapter 2.
Still going down.
I ain't walked
Go
down
ahead.
here for no reason. Talk to him.
You're right. Let me ask you a question. This is what we're saying. This is what we're getting at, right?
True that.
Why do you dress that way? Why? Because you deal with women?
Yeah,
You
most
gay?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Why? That's what we getting at.
Because that's what I feel comfortable with. That's what my sexuality is.
All right. So something that's unnatural can never be comfortable. You understand? That's like me trying to put on an extra small shirt.
Okay.
And in my mind, I'm saying that's what I feel comfortable with. But outwardly, you can see that don't work.
Being obedient to who? When you already obedient as in life.
Oh, who are you supposed to be obedient to?
My God, my creator.
All right.
Yeah.
So what did he just read that women are supposed to be? Give me Genesis chapter 2.
Bring it out.
Go down to the bottom.
Shalom.
But answer that for me though. While we get the scripture, answer that for me though. What were you created to do outside of give life? Yeah, that's one part of it. What else?
Nurture and provide for my man.
For your man, right?
Right.
But how can you do that if you are now trying to be a man?
I'm not trying to be a man. That's not my profound. I like a woman. That's it.
All right.
I'm
So
staying in my divine energy.
all right.
as a
So
woman.
let's deal with that, right?
Right.
I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah.
That's confusion. And what happened, we're gonna deal. That's confusion. And what happened is through slavery, through the white man and Christianity.
I didn't go through that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You're going through it right
My
now.
bloodline, my ancestry. did
All
what I
right,
did.
just listen. I'm gonna help you out. What's your name? What's your name? Yvonne. All right, Yvonne, I'm gonna help you out. You saying you didn't go through that. You thinking about being in the fields and all of that. That's true. The ancestors and all of that, right?
That's not my life.
But
I'm
listen,
the present.
what we're in right now, we're in slavery and captivity.
No, we're
Just
not.
listen. All right, I got you. Read.
Genesis 2 and verse 22. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
So the woman is of the man. The woman comes out of the man.
Right, she's not supposed to be the man.
She's not supposed to be the man, right? Now, give me Sirach 19 and 29. You said, I'm not trying to be a man. I just like women, right? Okay. Now, we got to go by what the Bible says.
Oh, now we gotta go by what the Bible.
We always got to go by what the Bible says. Because what we say.
God is not that book. God is us. He's in you.
Okay.
That God is in me.
God is in you?
Yeah.
Okay, if God is in you, you just acknowledge what the Creator created you to be.
Right.
You're not being that.
Right.
How can God be in you?
What you mean? Oh.
Read.
Sirach to the 19 and verse 29. A man may be known by his look.
A man may be known by his look.
Right.
You understand? You have men out here. We all have on what? Pants, right? Okay. So, do you have a skirt on?
No. No.
So, are you trying to be a woman?
I don't wanna
No.
talk.
You're trying to be a man.
I want to talk. Thank you for the.
You're confused. Give Deuteronomy 22:5.
Bring it out.
You're confused. You are trying to be a man. You cannot be a man.
I just said I wasn't. You take the words out the mouth.
You like women. Men are supposed to like women.
Right.
Read.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
If the only way a woman is going to wear what a man wears is if she's trying to be a man. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
If a man wear what a woman wears, he's trying to be a woman. The sister is confused.
Right.
That's the trick bag. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
She said, I'm not in slavery. I didn't go through that. Her mind is destroyed. That's the proof that she's in slavery. Read.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
She's still going through that. We are still going through that. We are still in slavery. Read.
And in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And she even got that ideology from the oppressor, our enemies. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Read that one more power. That's the main point. Come on.
Verse 48. Therefore,
No, the last part. And he shall put a yoke of iron.
and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So guess what? She said I'm not in slavery because she don't have a yoke of iron on her neck. She's destroyed. My brother over there by the grill. Let me ask you a question. If a woman dressed like a man, if a woman like women, is she trying to be a man, yes or no? Yes, right? That's easy to be understood. That's common sense. But she said, no, I'm not trying to be a man. Meanwhile, she's doing nothing like a woman. So why do our people think like that? We crazy, right? How do we get that over? We read the Bible. When you read about David, Solomon, you read about Noah, Moses, all of that, that's us. Now how do we get to where we are today? Okay, now what does that mean to believe in him? Because a lot of people, like the Christian church, they say they believe, but they will allow their sister to be gay in the church. Does that mean that they believe they go to church on Sunday, but they coming in there with woman on woman and man on man? Is that believing?
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example.